Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be testing the Trending Pro Velvet Sponge that comes in this packaging, and I'm going to be doing a side-by-side comparison with the Real Techniques sponge. So if you'd like to know what I think of this, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first, I know that I look absolutely crazy, but this is for a video that will be up in the second half of the month, kind of. And okay, so we have the Velvet Sponge, and this is by the brand Trending Pro, and this says it's a sponge with a velvet touch, and it's supposed to absorb less product and give a natural finish. So it comes in a very cute packaging, and this was €3.99. Up close, this is what the sponge looks like. And to the touch, it does have that velvet feeling. It's a little weird, and it is soft. So this is completely new, and I'm gonna do kind of a side-by-side, and I'm going to compare it with the Real Techniques sponge. Now this one is a lot used. I did mean to wash it, but then I wanted to also compare them dry and then wet to see how big they get. This one feels softer than the Real Techniques, at least dry. So basically this is the size of both sponges dry, and this is the size of both sponges wet. Now that they're wet, they feel very similar. Maybe this one is still softer than the Real Techniques, and it feels like it didn't absorb as much water. This one feels more wet still. So first I am going to prime my face, and I'm using the Primark Vitamin Primer. This is a very hydrating primer. If you want to guess what this eye look is about, leave your guesses in the comment section. Okay, so now for foundation. I'm using the Kiko Full Coverage 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. So I'm going to do this half of my face with the Velvet Sponge and the other half with the Real Techniques. And I think I'm going to try and blend it with the round bottom. Okay, so it does really feel very soft on the skin. Doesn't seem to be absorbing a lot of product. Try and use this more pointy side close to my brows. Okay, so it doesn't really absorb a lot of product, and it blended it very easily. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side of my face. And with this one, I usually use the flat side. This really does feel a bit more wet than the other one, although I did the exact same thing. I wet them, I removed the excess of water, and then I used a towel. Need a little bit foundation here in the center. Okay, so I am seeing very close in the mirror. Both sides look very similar. Now I'm going to use a little bit of concealer. Okay, so my first impression. I feel like this sponge, because it doesn't absorb as much product, it takes a little bit more to blend it, but I still feel like it blends it as easy as the other one. This one, because it feels a little bit more wet, I feel like that thing helps the product to move around faster. But I mean, I guess the end result is very similar. So one thing that I usually do is I take my powder, and on my under eye area and my smile lines I usually use a sponge. So I'm going to try that. Okay, so with the powder I feel like this side is more even. I think that it helped to press the powder and blend it along the way. This side, the powder is a little bit more noticeable, but still the effect is very similar. Okay, so I'm just going to do the powder on the rest of my face. I don't think I mentioned for concealer, I used the Revolution Conceal & Define, and my powder is the Kiko Matte Fusion Pressed Powder. Okay, so this is my base done with these sponges. I'm just gonna do the rest of my face and I'll be right back for my final thoughts. Okay, so I just finished this look, and what do I think of this sponge? It's very soft and it does grow in size when you wet it. It doesn't absorb a lot of product. You can see here at the bottom I used it for foundation and it doesn't have a lot of product on it. And also the tip, it has a little bit but is nothing too much. The velvet touch, I mean, personally is a little bit weird, but it's not bad. It's just strange, I think. And it blended the foundation, the concealer, very good. It did take a little bit more blending than the Real Techniques sponge, but the effect was very similar. I was looking close up and the skin feels very similar on both sides. So what more can I say about this? This was €3.99 as the Real Techniques is €7.99, or you can get it for around €6 if you buy the duo pack. So this one is cheaper. And do I think this is worth the money? Yes, I really liked it. The Velvet Touch, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's something you can easily ignore. And I feel like it did a very good job. It is very soft, and I do prefer a very soft sponge. I mean, this one is still one of my favorites, but if I can get something very similar for less price, I definitely will. And I didn't try the flat side, but I think it will be very nice for the under eye area. And I did want a sponge that had a round bottom. So, final thoughts, do I recommend you get this sponge? Definitely, if you can get it. It's totally worth the money and it's very good. And yeah, I guess I've found a new favorite sponge. If you have already tried this, or if you want to try it, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for new videos every Thursday and Sunday. And that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!